So I will invite now our second speaker to activate the screen and so on, and those assisting behind the scenes will make all that happen, I'm sure. And let me just offer a few words of introduction. So this next speaker is Caitlin Donaldson, who's an astrophysics student at the University of Edinburgh and is head of outreach for the Hype Ed project. And you know, there's always a good case for hyping public engagement projects, but I think in this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to really leave it to Caitlin to be the one that hypes this project, because it really is fascinating. I'm very much looking forward to hearing more about it. So over to you, Caitlin.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen there. Perfect. So if everyone can see that, I'm Caitlin, and thank you for introducing me there. I'm the head of outreach at the Hype Society, and I will be talking a bit about how we can do public engagement as a student society. But first, I'll just give a brief overview of what we do as a society and how we work. So we're a team of students at the University of Edinburgh working on developing the Hyperloop concept. And just to get everyone up to speed, the concept of a Hyperloop is essentially consists of levitating pods traveling through near vacuum tubes in order to create high speed and eco-friendly mode of transport. And we do this through the technical team who are building prototypes and model the components of the pod. And they manufacture these components using practical knowledge and the theoretical analysis put together by our research team. And the research team work on progressing the technical design by keeping up to date on developments in the industry and developing concepts that the technical team can utilize, such as comparing levitation systems, as well as the socioeconomic aspect of implementing a new mode of transport. Outreach is a part of the PR team, where our goal is in the society is to engage with the community with regards to Hyperloop technology and the wider STEM field. And that's of course what we're talking about today. But we also can't forget the sponsorship team who keep us funded as well. So how can we use Hyperloop as a tool for outreach? Well, it provides a unique opportunity as it encapsulates so many different components of engineering and STEM, which means we can use a wide range of methods to teach different areas of STEM and also provide quite a modern and quite an exciting application for these principles that we're teaching to keep people engaged, especially younger audiences. Some of these are shown on the slide here. We've got levitation, propulsion, aerodynamics, renewable energy, simulations, and electronics, and many others within that as well. But one of the experiences that I wanted to highlight as part of this event that we have taken part in was the European Hyperloop Week. So I said earlier that we're going to think about conducting outreach as a student society. And this was quite a good opportunity in that regard, as we were able to connect with lots of other university teams in order to create this event. Specifically, we had Swissloop from Switzerland, Delft Hyperloop from the Netherlands, and Hyperloop UPV from Valencia, which is where the event was hosted in July. And the aim of the week was really to bring together teams and give them the opportunity to showcase their designs to other teams, members of industry, and the public. And in the end, the event saw over 20 teams and 10 industry sponsors in attendance, with about 600 to 700 members of public registering for the event. And so obviously with that many people, a major part of that was community outreach. And this occurred really in three main ways. The first of which was through exhibitions and talks. This was the UPV hosted aspect of the week, where members of the public were able to come to the exhibition that had been set up by each of the teams and observe aspects of the technical competition. It was further spread to the local community as the press were invited, and local newspapers and TV stations broadcast information about the event, as well as interviews with team members. And talks and seminars that were held by the sponsors and members of industry were open to everyone and led to quite a broad discussion of engineering. We then also had the test track event, which was a major event for the week, as members of the public were invited to a Formula One track in Valencia to see demonstrations of the Hyperloop pods that teams had been able to make. Unfortunately, only 2 teams were able to actually create pods because of restrictions to manufacturing this year. But it did attract a lot of members of the public across quite a wide variety of ages, which I think an attraction of that is the competition aspect of things as well, to test the speed of the pods and to test the designs of the team. Finally, we had the event, the Harbour event, which was the final event of the week, where each team set up a stand to present and showcase their designs. bringing things like the components, mock-up designs, and virtual reality software to experience the models. And this event really included the widest range of people, as we were in public and this was a non-ticketed environment. So there were lots of people who hadn't planned on coming and ended up joining spontaneously and being drawn in by the event, meaning we had the biggest variation in age and knowledge of the technology. But it also meant we had things like more of a language barrier as well, with members of the public being in Valencia. But luckily with some native speakers, we managed okay there. So overall, the outreach aspect of the week was really interesting, involving working with other university teams and sponsors to reach as many people as possible. And it is an event that we hope to continue annually and hopefully have in Edinburgh at some point, probably in 2023, we are hoping for. So what are our plans for the future? More short term than 2023. So EHW was something that Hyped was really proud to be a part of, but I did also want to highlight some of the specific projects that are ongoing for us this year. And these are listed on the screen here. So we're currently working on designing and preparing a school workshop initiative, where we will be working with schools to introduce kids to engineering via an interactive workshop with demonstrations and things like the virtual reality pod, which is a snapshot of that on the screen, so we can go into depth in some of the components there. And I mentioned earlier as well how Hyperloop provides a huge variety of ways to aid with outreach, and this is especially useful when it comes to designing the school workshops, as students can have a chance to work with components and build their own, including working with springs and dampers in the mechanical suspension system and magnets to observe how their attraction and repulsion properties can be used for levitation. We've got principles of electromagnetism. We can create small generators using copper coils. And we can always do things with aerodynamics via simulations or via air resistance experiments. We're also creating an online course, which is aimed at people who are really thinking about potentially taking engineering into higher education and want more of a taste of an application of what you can do with that, to provide a virtual environment to reach a wider audience in that regard. And finally, we're hoping to create an event to invite the public to see some of the work being done by Hyped in Edinburgh, so that we can continue this discussion with other teams and show our designs to people as well. So we are excited about the year ahead and think that Hyperloop is quite a cool way of conveying the technology and conveying this message of STEM as well. So thank you. I think if we have any time for questions.